Federal government about to start 4 new rail projects, says Amaechi. The federal government is about to start 4 rail line projects in various parts of the country. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, announced yesterday. Amaechi announced this while speaking in Abuja at the annual ministerial press briefing on programs, projects and activities of the Federal Ministry of Transportation Agency. It outlined the 4 rail project which the government was about to start to include Ibadan to Kano, Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, Kano to Maradi and Lagos to Calabar rail lines. The minister made no mention of the exact date when the project will start, but said the federal government was about to start the rail lines. Amaechi said the 185.5 kilometer Lagos to Ibadan double standard gauge line with extension to Apapa Seaport was nearing completion, while the 186 kilometer Abuja to Kaduna and 302 kilometer Warri to Itakpe standard gauge lines had been completed and were functional. Also speaking at the event, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said the current government will leave a lasting legacy through the line project being constructed by the FMOT. Federal government about to start 4 new rail projects, says Amaechi. Buhari yet to consult Police Council on new IGP. Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Dingyadi, has clarified President Muhammadu Buhari is here to consult the Police Council over the appointment of Acting Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba. Newsmen on Tuesday reported President Muhammadu Buhari appointed DIG Usman Alkali Baba as Acting Inspector General of Police with immediate effect. Announcing Baba's appointment, Minister of Police and Affairs, Muhammadu Dingyadi, said it is in the line with Buhari's determination to resign the security architecture and ensure security challenges bedeviling the nations are brought to an end. Speaking yesterday while featuring on Channels Television Politics Today program, Dingyadi noted absence of the president stalled the process of consulting the Police Council. He assured once the president returns to the country, he will set the machinery in motion. Buhari yet to consult Police Council on new IG. Medical trip. Buhari only went to London for second option, says Ngige. Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige said yesterday that the President Muhammadu Buhari has the right to seek medical treatment in London. He said Buhari's current medical trip to the United Kingdom is to enable him seek a second opinion on his health as he has been doing in the last 40 years. But the minister, who is a medical doctor himself, did not say what ails the president. Overseas treatment, according to him, is part of the perks of office of a sitting president, former president, and some judges in the country. Ngige, who spoke exclusively to our correspondent, said Buhari's shuttle to London has nothing to do with the sorry state of the Nigerian hospitals. He said Buhari has the right to travel for medical abroad for 3 reasons. Number 1, you don't constrain people on their choice of who will treat them for any ailment or who will be their doctor. That is number 1. You have a choice there. Buhari is the head of the government of Nigeria, and he has a physician attached to him as per the office. And if he runs tests or does any diagnosis with his physician, he has a right to what we call second option. Medical trip. Buhari only went to London for second option, says Ngige. Striking resident doctors to refund 308 million naira overpayment to government treasury. Members of the Striking National Association of Resident Doctors are to return the government treasury about 308 million naira wrongly paid to them as emolument in the last 4 months by the government. Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Healthcare Service, Honorable Tanko Sununu, said on Thursday. Sununu, who spoke to newsmen after about 5 hours closed-door meeting with officials of the resident doctors and officials of the Federal Ministry of Health, as well as Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, said officials of the association informed the meeting that despite their efforts, there were delays in furnishing them with an account number to which the money will be paid. The lawmaker, who is also a medical doctor, said in view of the serious allegation from NARD against MDCN, the House Committee decided to set up a committee to forensically audit all the activities of the council in the last 5 years. The committee had summoned the MDCN registrar, Dr. Tajuddin Sanusi, to answer queries on discrepancies in the payment of House officers and why some were paid up to 3 times, while others received nothing at all. Among other issues, Sununu said the 308 million naira had been with NARD, who have been following the relevant organs of government to make sure that the money is paid back to the government treasury, but could not because the account was not given to them. Striking resident doctors to refund 308 million naira overpayment to government treasury. El-Rufai, I won't pay bandits even if they kidnap my son. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has vowed he won't pay ransom even bandits could succeed in kidnapping his son. He said he is so against payment of ransom that he would rather pray his son makes heaven if kidnapped than pay abductors. According to him, I mean it and I will say it again here. Even if my son is kidnapped, I would rather pray for him to make heaven instead because I won't pay any ransom. He foreclosed paying ransom to secure the release of the students abducted by bandits from the Federal College of Forestry Mechanization in Kaduna March 11th. According to him, his government is absolutely not paying ransom, but considering other means to ensure the students are returned to their parents. El-Rufai, I won't pay bandits even if they kidnap my son. Security situation in Southeast, South-South critical, says IGP. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, yesterday lamented that the police have a critical security situation in the Southeast and South-South geopolitical zones of the country that requires urgent attention. Baba said this at the opening an emergency meeting with police strategy commanders in the Southeast and South-South geopolitical zones, following the security situation affecting South-South and Southeast region of the country. The IGP said the challenges will require the force to rein operation strategy to ensure that the issues are immediately named in the bud. According to him, it is not like we do not have problems in other geopolitical zones of the country, but we have to address them one after the other. He said, calling a larger meeting of all commissioners of police and other senior officials will not be right at the moment because of COVID-19 protocols. Security situation in Southeast and South-South critical, says IGP. Lagos and FCT sought 7 treatment centers over COVID-19. The 2 cities most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, Lagos and Abuja, have begun shutting down isolation centers as Nigeria snubbed the medical facilities, newsmen gathered. One of our correspondents in Abuja was informed that the National Hospital has discharged his last patient while the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Gwagwadala, which attend to most severe cases, at about 4 patients as opposed to the average of 30 severe patients it used to have. The Chief Medical Director, Professor Bishop Ikele, confirmed to newsmen that indeed the rate of admission had dropped significantly, adding that only 4 patients remain at the isolation ward and they might soon be discharged. Ikele said, "We thank God that things are beginning to drop. The doctor strike has no effect on our facility. Usually, it is those that need oxygen that are brought to us. We have just about 4 patients and hopefully they might soon be discharged. Also speaking to one of our correspondents, the spokesperson for the National Hospital, Dr. Tayo Astrop, said the last patient had been discharged last week. We have no more coronavirus patients in our isolation center, Astrop said yesterday. Lagos and FCT to shut 7 treatment centers over COVID-19. Makinde and Fayose's functions fight over 756 Southwest PDP Congress delegates. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and a former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, are to test their popularity with 756 delegates that will elect officials of the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest on Monday. While Makinde is backing a former deputy governor of Oyo State, Taofik Arakpaja, for the position of chairman, Fayose is mobilizing for Dr. Eddie Olafeso. Olafeso, who is from Ondo State, is a former occupant of the office. He resigned to contest the party's governorship ticket in the last Ondo State election, which he lost to Eyitayo Jegede. Makinde had wanted the Congress to hold in Ibadan, but the Fayose faction wanted it in another venue, saying the Oyo State capital was not safe for it and its supporters. However, 2 days ago, the National Working Committee of the party announced Osogbo, Osun State, as the venue of the Congress after it met with both factions. A list of delegates to the Congress obtained by our correspondent indicated that Arakpaja might have been granted a waiver by the Northwest Congress, as his name was listed as one of the delegates from Oyo State. Makinde and Fayose's faction fight over 756 Southwest PDP Congress delegates. Rivers bans meeting of Igbo group in Oyigbo local government. The Rivers State government has stopped a planned meeting of some Igbo residents in the Oyigbo local government area, citing fears that the gathering could spark fresh unrest in the area. The United Igbo Community meeting was originally scheduled for today at Oyigbo. Information and Communication Commissioner Paulinus Nishrim said government has directed security agencies to ensure that the said meeting does not hold to forestall a breakdown of law and order in the area. He did not elaborate on the security concern. Oyigbo local government area shares boundary with Abia State, which is considered a stronghold of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. The group is being accused of lawlessness in the state and Imo State. Rivers bans meeting of Igbo group in Oyigbo local government. IPOB and OPC pushing Nigeria into ethnic war, says Dambasu. A former chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambasu, has warned activities of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and Odua People's Congress are pushing the country to the brink of war. He said the two separatist groups are sponsoring new wave of extremists that could ignite ethnic conflict. Dambasu, a former minister of Interior, however, said the police have a critical role to play quelling recent agitation across the country instead of leaving everything in the hands of the military. The former chief of army staff, who stated this while delivering a lecture to participants of Course 5 2021, Army War College Nigeria, said the two groups have been making efforts to ignite nationwide ethnic conflict through their violent attacks on northern residents or transacting business in the south as a quick to realize their dream for a divided Nigeria. We see parallels between Boko Haram, a religious extreme group, and the IPOB and OPC, both ethnic extremist groups. All the three groups operate on the platform of extremism. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atairu, expressed optimism the training will equip the participants with requisite experience plan and execute military operations. IPOB and OPC pushing Nigeria into ethnic war, says Dambasao. Outrage over Zamfara's governor threat against Southerners. The influential Arewa Consultative Forum, the Northern Elders Forum, Onaze Indigbo, and the Pan-Niger Delta Forum yesterday ruled Governor Bello Matawalle of Zamfara State out of order over his comment that Southerners in the North should not expect protection if the killing of Northerners residents in the South does not stop. Matawalle, in a statement on Thursday on the State of the Nation, had deplored the attacks on Northerners in part of the South, saying the South should not think it has a monopoly of violence. He labeled the South increasingly unfriendly, adding that Northerners' lives, dignity, and possessions are being threatened, even as we try as Northerners to always calm the situation and to protect the interests, businesses, and dignity of all Southerners in the North. However, the ACF said the governor's statement was the easiest way to destroy Nigeria. It said it was totally against a such comment, notwithstanding the fact that it came from a serving governor. National Public Secretary of ACF, Emmanuel Yahweh, told the Nation on the phone that there was nothing to justify Matawalle's hardline stance. Outrage over Zamfara's governor threat against Southerners. Police arrest cleric for abducting teenage girl for ritual in Ogun State. Operatives of Ogun State Police Command have arrested a 36-year-old self-acclaimed Islamic cleric, Amadu Jami, for abducting a 15-year-old girl for ritual. According to a statement issued in Abeokuta yesterday by the police spokesman, Mr. Abimbola Oyeyemi, the cleric was arrested following a report lodged at Sango Division by the victim, who reported that she was accosted and lured to an uncompleted building after being hypnotized by the suspect while she was returning home from work around 5:30 p.m. on April 5, 2021. Oyeyemi said that on getting to the building, the suspect stripped the girl naked and used a white handkerchief to rub her private part, as well as all over her body. The statement read in part, "It was a good Samaritan who, unknown to the suspect, was watching the whole incident that came to her rescue as she has become unconscious." Upon the report, the divisional police officer, Sango Division, CSP Godwin Idai, detailed his detectives to go after the suspect. He was subsequently traced and apprehended. The statement added, on interrogation, the suspect confessed that he has the intention of afflicting the victim with a sickness, which will enable him to extort a parent of the huge amount of money, having successfully done it to two different persons in the past. However, Oyeyemi said the suspect will be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department for further investigation and possible prosecution. Police arrest cleric for abducting teenage girl for ritual in Ogun State. Seven injured in Floyd Bauchi jailbreak. There was pandemonium at the Bauchi Custodian Center yesterday following an attempt jailbreak. The quick intervention of armed personnel of the service attached to the center immediately averted the incident. Two personnel of the correctional service sustaining varying degrees of injuries. The injured are said to be presently receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital within the Bauchi metropolis. Residents living around the Custodian Center said several gunshots were fired during the incident, which occurred about 12 p.m. before Friday prayer, causing them serious panic. The public relations officer of Bauchi Command of the NCS, Abubakar Agwalari, confirmed that attempted jailbreak in a telephone conversation. According to him, the situation had been put under control as all the inmates have been put back into their respective cells. 7 injured in foil Bauchi jailbreak. Drug barons and crime merchants exploit our children to perpetuate crime, says Miyetti Allah. Chieftains of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association have alleged that due to the lack of education of the Fulani children, drug dealers and other merchants of crime use the Fulani to perpetuate crime and banditry in Nigeria. Speaking at the headquarters of the Arewa Consultative Forum in Kaduna on Thursday during the National Executive Council of the Forum, the National Secretary of MACBAN, Alhaji Baba Uthman, said they have come to ACF, which is now the father of Fulani in Nigeria, as the prevailing situation in the country has turned them into orphans with no homes. He said MACBAN came to meet the ACF to narrate their plight of 30 million Fulani in present-day Nigeria. Chairman of the ACF, Chief Audu Ogbe, assured MACBAN that they will look into their grievances and approach the relevant authorities. According to Inzena, the ignorance of others and pastoralists is being exploited by crime merchants and drug merchants in the country who supply others drugs. He alleged that these crime merchants collected the millions in ransom and only dropped peanuts for the food soldiers. He therefore warned that unless the Fulani are put together in grazing reserve, the country may not have peace. Drug barons and crime merchants exploit our children to perpetuate crime, says Miyetti Allah. And that is how far we can take you this morning on Hot News from the beautiful studios of JFM 95.5, Jejela Garden City of Ogwaro Shaki, Oyo State, Nigeria. Good morning and happy weekend. I am Mujib Badru. Do our